rise up in the morning beneath the stars so bright. Pull your hat down, make sure your cinch is tight. Horses kinda snuffy, cold chill up your spine. You'll get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight.
Howdy there, I'm Matt McKinley and we're burning daylight.
In the saddle till the job's done right.
Welcome to Burnin Daylight, the only podcast for the working cowboy. Well, welcome back, Daylight Burners. Recording this, I guess it'd be early Monday morning, late Sunday evening. Getting a little bit of a late start to this, but I've been doing some serious researching, some serious internet sleuthing that you would expect from a feedlot cowboy who also has a podcast. So it's a real long, drawn-out way of saying I did the best I could, and I don't know exactly how much I got right and how much I got wrong and how much is like not even relevant, because I'm gonna throw it out there right at the beginning. This is a weird one. This is a real weird one. So buckle up. It's gonna get fun. All right, so I named this episode Lame Assassins Abound. And I thought about putting would-be assassins in the title, but it's a little too long, a little wordy. This one kind of rolls off the tongue good. So, Lame Assassins Abound. And I bring that up because if you haven't heard, there was a fella named Ryan Routh, or Ruth, or I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, but Routh. I'm going to go with Routh. Was arrested outside of Donald Trump's personal golf course in Florida. Isn't that wild that you just have he's got his complex Mar-a-Lago, which is resort, private club. And then down the road, he's also got his own private golf course. It's a crazy life to live. But anyhow, this Ryan Routh fella was arrested not far from there. Was fired upon by Secret Service because apparently this guy had an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, GoPro, and a couple backpacks. It's unclear. I've not been able to find out convincingly one way or the other how many shots were fired, how many whether it was one person doing the shooting if there was Secret Service and return fire from this Routh fella. I don't know on that, but I do know that shots were fired. I don't know from who, and I don't know how many. But then Routh, the suspect, fled the scene, was pulled over. He was driving like a black Nissan SUV type. I don't know what model. And was taken into custody by the sheriff's office down there. So before we get any further into that, we'll go with statements from relevant parties involved. Start off with, we got the man himself, Donald J. Trump, September 15th, 2024. Alert from Trump. There were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear this first. I am safe and well, all caps. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will, once again, all caps, never surrender. I will always love you for supporting me. Unity, peace, make America great again. May God bless you, Donald J. Trump. So we have that one. And let me find these other. President Biden also shared a statement on Twitter. I've been briefed by my team regarding what federal law enforcement is investigating as a possible assassination attempt of former President Trump today. A suspect is in custody, and I commend the work of the Secret Service and their law enforcement partners for their vigilance and their efforts to keep the former president and those around him safe. I'm relieved that former President Trump is unharmed. There's an active investigation into this incident, as well as law enforcement gathers more details about what happened. As I've said many times, there is no place for political violence or for any violence ever in our country, and I have directed my team to continue to ensure that the Secret Service has every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure that the former president's continued safety. Okay, so that's the end of the Biden statement. We also have Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt of former President Trump today. As we gather facts, I will be clear. I condemn political violence. We must all do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence. Read my statement. So the first part's the same. As we gather facts, I will be clear. I condemn political violence, blah, blah, blah. Continuing on, I'm thankful that former President Trump is safe. I commend the U.S. Secret Service and law enforcement partners for their vigilance. As President Biden said, our administration will ensure the Secret Service has every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to carry out its critical mission. So a continuation of what Biden said, or just pretty much the same thing. And then we had a pretty interesting one here from Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. The state of Florida will be conducting its own investigation regarding the attempted assassination at Trump International Golf Club. The people deserve the truth about the would-be assassin and how he was able to get within 500 yards of the former president and current GOP nominee. So that is Governor Ron DeSantis kind of throwing down the gauntlet. Let's see what happens there. That is somewhat significant. We'll see how significant it is, but as opposed to the previous assassination attempt on Donald Trump, that's two that we know of. I've seen some other, like there was apparently a ricin, and these were screenshots. I didn't read any story about it. It was just what I saw on social media, in which you have to take you have to be careful about what you see there, because shit gets weird on the internet, and people can do some really, really cool or really fucked up or just really, really crazy shit that you wouldn't ever think about being real or being a thing until you saw it. You know, the deep fakes, AI stuff is fucking wild. So that being said, there was like a ricin attempt, and there was another screenshot of an article of a guy at a Trump rally that was talking to a cop and then went for the cop's gun, and he was gonna, I guess, must have been at a Trump rally. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see any links to an article, so I didn't read it. I'm not including those into Trump's assassination attempts because I don't know for sure. But I do know that he got shot in the ear, or at least that's what I think I know. I know he got shot at in Pennsylvania a couple months ago, which just seems like a decade or so ago. It seems like forever. the way this current campaign season has this 4-year campaign season slash realignment of American politics is it moves at a real rapid pace. So Donald Trump getting shot in the ear seems forever ago, but it wasn't. And I can honestly say that I have no less questions about this Ryan Routh fella as I do the Thomas Matthew Crooks guy, I think is his name. I think I know more about this Ryan Routh fella just a mere hours after this thing happened than I do 2 months later from this Thomas Matthew Crooks guy. That one is weird. This newest one is weird. But there's a lot more to speculate on with the new one because unlike this younger fella that supposedly had no social media footprint whatsoever, this Ryan Routh guy is quite the opposite. Was quite the opposite. All of his social media accounts that I was able to find have been pulled down. He had Facebook and Instagram, which were pulled down pretty quickly. There's people have been able to get some screenshots off of that. And Twitter, his Twitter account was, or X, was still up, and I was able to scroll through it pretty for a while. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes I was looking through there, and I was showing my wife some of the stuff. And then it also got pulled down as well. But because it was up longer, there's a lot of screenshots involved, and there's a whole full archive that somebody posted on Twitter. So it's one of the beauties of the internet is turns out there's a lot of what would seem to be pretty autistic people that really like the internet, and they're really good at finding shit and then also just putting it out for people to see. That's one of the beauty of the true beauty of the internet. So anyway, I've gone down a rabbit hole, and this dude is ripe for all sorts of conspiracy theories. The political landscape that we live in the country and in the world is ripe for conspiracy theories, and mostly because our governments have got so big and so massive and shady, and they have their tentacles into everything, that a lot of these conspiracy theories are highly believable because our federal government, anyways, United States federal government, has done weirder shit that we know about. And then there's some really weird shit that we've speculated on for over 50 years that we still don't know the answer to because the government won't release any of the files. For the JFK stuff, for aliens, all sorts of stuff that has been around forever that we don't know about, been speculated on to great length. Entire subgenres and industries have sprang up out of the Kennedy assassination, and we still don't know anything real concrete. This Thomas Matthews Crooks guy in Pennsylvania, we've gleaned some stuff, but there's not a lot out there. But the stuff that is out there is kind of strange, like the fact that he had a bunch of encrypted accounts that he was using, overseas-based accounts which is not particularly out of the normal. I use Signal from time to time. I have Telegram. I don't really use it, but it's a good tool for overseas type stuff, particularly if you want to follow the Russia Ukraine stuff from somewhat kind of firsthand accounts. Telegram's a good place for that. I don't know any channels, but I know that's where a lot of people get video footage, like the drone stuff and like the actual fighting going on. Same way with the Israel Gaza stuff. It was it's all over Telegram. Like the Israeli government had unofficial accounts, but ran by Israeli Defense Force officials, showing pretty much live footage of the war there in the Gaza Strip. So it's a pretty powerful tool. So it's not unusual that people would have those accounts. What is unusual is that an American teenager, late teenager, early 20, I think he was like 20 years old. So just recently a teenager, an American one at that, in the day and age of social media, has none of the major US popular social media platforms, but we don't know what the apps were, but encrypted apps. So is that Telegram? Is that Signal? Who knows? WhatsApp, which is, they say it's encrypted, but that thing's been hacked so much. I don't know if anything's truly encrypted anymore. So, but that's neither here nor there. Like I say, it's kind of weird that an American teenager has some overseas based social encrypted apps, but no American, no TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, no Twitter, no YouTube, but some other stuff. And then there was like GPS coordinates of pinged off of his phone or triangulated to his phone that were at locations just down the street from the FBI headquarters. That also seems kind of strange. He used the same shooting range as the Department of Homeland Security, which the Secret Service falls under. Guys in that area would use that range, and there's he was in a BlackRock commercial when he was in high school. There's nothing, not one particular thing is real noteworthy. There's a lot of weird stuff. But it all seems pretty noteworthy when the dude took a shot at the, at the time, front runner for president of the United States, still arguably a front runner. Either way, one of the two major candidates for president of the United States, former president of the United States. All of those little weird things about a fella become suddenly relevant when you, take a shot at the king, if you will. I'm not calling Donald Trump a king, just the colloquial term. Take a shot at the king, you best not miss. Now it seems to be twice. I don't know if this current guy shot or not, but either way, that's two attempts and 0 for 2 on that. So Trump's whiff rate is through the roof if we're talking baseball stats. But then we have this Ryan Routh fella, and let's get into him because, as I say, I haven't done near as much rabbit hole going on that one as I have this Ryan Routh fella, but mostly because this stuff was pretty readily available. So this is an article from the Gray Zone by Max Blumenthal, who's pretty good. He's a pretty good journalist. Alleged would-be Trump assassin recruited for Ukraine's International Legion. Before he was caught with an AK-47 on a golf course near Trump, Ryan Routh went to Kiev to fight for Ukraine's military and recruit for its International Legion. Routh told U.S. media he had partners meeting with Ukraine's Ministry of Defense every week. Ryan Routh was arrested today with an AK-47 style rifle several hundred yards from Donald Trump while the former president was golfing. According to the Washington Post, the Trump golf court and reset that there. The Trump golf course incident investigated as a potential assassination attempt. Back in 2022, Routh reportedly traveled to Ukraine to recruit for the International Legion. According to Newsweek Romania, which interviewed Routh in 2022, and there's it's like a 10-minute video of that interview that I have got to find it in my laundry list of tabs here, but it is we'll play a little bit of it. It's pretty interesting. So plan B, Routh said, was to come to Kiev and promote the idea of many others coming to join the International Legion. We need thousands of people here to fight alongside Ukrainians. There are about 190 countries on our planets, and if the governments are not officially sending soldiers here, then we civilians should pick up this torch and make it happen. So here's perfect in the article.
Please tell me who you are and why are you here?
Let me double check. My audio was working earlier, but if it is now or not, I won't know until I check. So pausing right now. I think we should be good now. So if not, I will have to edit the sound back in later, but here we go. This is Ryan Routh himself. Ryan Wesley Routh, I believe.
Who you are and why are you here?
I'm 56 from the U.S., from North Carolina originally. So live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is a storybook, any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another. And it's just a matter of, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that, we all move forward as one collective whole unit. So, we feel the pain of one country's failure and their conflicts, and we enjoy the successes of other countries that are doing good, and we all work together. And for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit and we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous and being kind and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
And what are you doing here in Ukraine?
My initial goal was to come and fight. I think, everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army. But I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience. So they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. So they said, not right this minute. So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians. We need, we've got 190 countries around the world, and we need thousands from all of them. If the governments will not send their official military, then we civilians have to pick up the torch and make this thing happen. And we've gotten some wonderful people here, but it's a small fraction of the number that should be here. If we have 5,000, to 10,000 people here fighting, that is just a minuscule amount of the 5 billion people on the globe. We need everyone here fighting. That's why I'm in Kyiv. So every project that I promote is about getting people here to support the Ukrainians. We were at a critical juncture in this war where we are sitting on the fence as far as whether good or evil is going to win. Right now we're looking at a situation where the world is waning and it's thinking that this is important or not. And we're at a point where, all right, are we going to stand for humanity, for human rights, for everything that is good with the world? Or are we just going to ignore it? If everybody is complacent and doesn't join this fight, then guess who's going to win? It might take 10 years, but we're going to lose this battle if everyone around the globe does not stop what they're doing, get off the couch, and come to Ukraine and defend the human rights of everyone around the globe. This is the most important thing going on in the world today. So sitting around and letting life go on as normal and complaining about gas prices and complaining about, your luxury life in whatever country you live in is unacceptable. As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world and expect the problem to go away. So I've been dealing with Russia for my entire life. We had one period where it was okay, but now we've let it slip back into terrorism. So it's just, the world needs to respond. Why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that, have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable anywhere, any place, So it's totally unacceptable. And why people are not responding, I do not know.
What impressed you the most since you are here?
My trip to Irpin was pretty emotional. So, going and seeing the buildings that were burned and destroyed and things of that nature. I think more emotional for me is just talking to the guys that have come here. When you talk to a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owns to come here to fight, that is heroism. He's coming here to risk his life for humanity, for the Ukrainians. Guys that sell everything they own to come here and support the Ukrainians while others sit at home and do nothing. It's totally mind-blowing how we have this divide of people that are selfless and courageous and wonderful and willing to sell everything they own to come here and support, keep people from getting killed, to shelter kids and protect Ukrainians, and others that just, want to sit at home and not. It's just, it's an indictment of our entire human society to say, hey, where do we stand? Do we stand for good, or do we just not care? I mean, does the world not care? That's the feeling that I wrestle with every day in my interactions with everybody. Every one of us is responsible for the outcome of this war. Every one of us, by our actions and what we do. And, when I call back home and say, hey, I need $5 so I can, put enough money together to get a vest for a Ukrainian, and I get no response, I'm like, I'm not sure that the world is as wonderful as I once thought it was. I had thought that everyone would respond, very generously and unselfishly, and you don't have to come. But, if I ask for $5 to buy a vest to save a Ukrainian life, it seems like that would be a no-brainer. But I increasingly get more disappointed in humanity. And I'm beginning to question whether or not we're going to end up on the right side of this equation.
So you are working with the International Legion.
Yes.
And you are trying to convince people to help, to donate, and to join.
Yeah.
My final question is, what would you say to the people in order to convince them to join the International Legion or to donate for it, or to be involved in the humanitarian aid to Ukraine?
Right. It's just extremely important, the whole thing. As far as joining the military, yes, if you have some military experience or know people with military experience, encouraging them to come and fight. We have units all over the place. So, there were some leadership issues initially, but we've got so many units available to us: Georgian, Crimean, Ukrainian, territorial defense, Foreign Legion. We have, so many paramilitary groups. I put a 74-year-old Japanese guy in a unit. So, we have girls in units. So we have two girls that are in the unit up the street. So any gender, any age, any skill level to no skill level. But yeah, if you want to fight, come here and see me, and I'll put you in a unit so you can go fight. But regardless of that, we should have thousands upon thousands of people standing here with the Ukrainians. This Maiden Square, Independence Square, we should have millions of people in this square, filling the square from every country around the world. And why we don't, I don't understand. I'm here every day with all the flags from all the supporting countries, with the memorials for the people that have died. And, I've had several people come, but just a handful, So it blows my mind that I'm standing here alone without thousands of people from every country, from Asia, from Africa, from Australia, from Canada, from everywhere in South America, every place.
Europe.
Europe, everywhere. We need everybody here. If you have no skills, just come. We need to be cheerleaders. Just being here and saying, hey, I support the Ukrainians, and I support human rights, and I support good and generosity and caring and kindness and altruism. And it's just, we need to show the world that we care. And it's essential. If you don't do any work at all, just being here and supporting and showing them that we care for our fellow human beings is the most important thing we can do.
up in the morning, beneath the stars so bright. Pull your hat down, make sure your cinch is tight. Horses kinda snuffy, cold chill up your spine. We'll get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight. Burning daylight. Burning daylight. In the saddle till the job's done right. Just together, and you won't catch 'em all. But when you ride through the gate, make sure you sit up tall. I can see the horizon, it's looking pretty bright. Well, get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight. Burning daylight. Burning daylight. In the saddle till the job's done right.